Hello, Internet. Welcome back to the most epic channel on YouTube. So, this is more of a commentary video on BSS Simulator. I actually make a BSS Simulator video maybe in the future, maybe soon. But right now it's kind of a commentary video about how has BSS Simulator not died yet. I'm not saying it's a bad game. I love this game. But it's surprising that most simulators usually have that, it's a new simulator, and then everyone plays it, and it dies down in like a couple of months, and it ends up, they'll have like a couple, like 1,000 players or like a couple hundred players playing it at a time. But it's just mostly just there. And I feel like the most likely reason BSS Simulator has stayed alive is basically what we're going to talk about in this video. So the first category in the reason why BSS Simulator has most likely not died is the mechanics in this game. There are so many mechanics in this game that they didn't go unused, but they're really fun to use. One of the mechanics that's really fun is most likely the different type of ability tokens, if you took that as a mechanic. But I think the ability tokens are like a pretty cool thing, because not only is it just like you just click, like you don't just click, you also are basically, you can also help make more honey, and not just by clicking, but also by using your bees ability tokens, either to fight or actually help you make honey. Another mechanic that's really cool is most likely the amulet mechanic, which basically just buffs you, and also the quests. Those are also, I guess, mechanics, but they're also like a good thing because it makes the player want to thrive and finish the quest to get rewards, and you can use those rewards to get more done. Especially the use wealth clock. It makes players want to play more so they can get more tickets. Also, the honey storm is also a really cool mechanic that people, that new players might think is cool. So it's like, oh, there might be more mechanics, up there that I can maybe see, or there might be more stuff that I can see, You also have the little dispensers, which are really cool. And there's just like a lot more, like the little items, the sprinklers, the micro converters, all of that. And now let's move on to the next topic, why I think BSS Simulator has been one of the simulators that has stayed alive for so long. It's called, basically earning the achievement. Like you feel congratulated when you finish something. You feel congratulated. Like, let's say you got a science fair quest and you had to collect a bunch of pollen, right? Like, you'll be like, oh man, it's gonna take long, but I'm still gonna do this because I'll get rewarded. I'll feel congratulated. I'll get some tickets, some honey, and I'll make my way to make quests even easier. So let's say you spent 5 days on a quest. You're like, yes, okay, I finally finished Black Bear's final quest. Let me turn it in. You turn it in, and you're like, let's go. We just got 200 million honey. We just got the mythic egg for his final quest. Let's do this. Let's go. Now I have a mythic. Bee. You feel congratulated. Unlike other simulators where there's not much to do, and there's nothing to really be congratulated on besides making it, jumping to the next island, which isn't that, you don't feel that congratulated. Like, when you finish the quest, the bears will be like, hey, good job, here's your reward, they'll be like, hey, good job, you did good. And the player will be like, oh, that's cool. And then they'll end up wanting to finish more quests. And then they'll keep on going, and then when they're at the end, they'll be like, I did this, and they'll feel happy. They'll be like, yes, I basically beat the game, until the next update. Okay, next topic 3 out of 5, actually. So the dedication. You feel dedicated to your goals. You feel dedicated, basically. So let's say you wanted to get the honeybee mask, right? Let's say, which is what I legit just got yesterday, right? Let's say you were dedicated to get that. So you start grinding, you start getting a bunch of tickets, so you can get that golden egg, you can get the golden eggs. You start, grinding to get all that honey, you start getting a bunch of treats to be able to make it, and you start getting a bunch of stuff so you can, craft it. And the same thing with that one, you feel rewarded, you're like, let's go, I did it, I got the honeybee mask. And you feel dedicated to your goals, and then you'll see the next goal, and you'll be like, you know what, I might I'm dedicated. You know, you're dedicated to it, and with the new, you're like, oh yeah, with this, you know, new honeybee mask, it'll be easier to make some honey, and it'll be easier to finish the quest, and you'll, you know, feel even more congratulated after you finish the quest. You're like, let's go, I did this, and so on and so forth. The fourth one is, you know, pretty obvious, kind of pretty obvious. The addictions of the game. A lot of people do get addicted to this game. Like, you'll get addicted because it's so fun. It's fun, you know. You'll end up getting like the honeybee mask, right? Same example, right? And then you'll end up like, oh, whoa, the gummy bee mask, I'm addicted. You know, you'll get addicted and you'll end up wanting to get that. So you'll just keep on going, being addicted. And when you get addicted to the game, you know, you play it a lot. Like, it's because of all the mechanics and everything in this game that makes you addicted, and you want to play even more. So you just want to play and play and play. And then when special events come around, you're like, oh my, I gotta get that, you know. Like, let's look at the Hub console, right? You're like, oh, the special event came, I gotta get these two. You know, like, oh, the 2022 Beastmas came, I gotta get the Snow Cub, you know. Oh, the Bee Bears, the 2019, you know, special event. I gotta get the Bee Cub. You know, you'll be like, okay, you know, you want to keep on doing this. You want to. You'll be addicted to the game, and you'll be like, oh, I gotta do this, you know? And it'll keep you playing over and over, especially with the events that get you addicted. And then, final category, number 5, basically, the finale. It's the legit finale. So when you reach the end game, you feel congratulated. You know, you're like, let's go. I did this, right? And you just, you know, you're still gonna play. You're still gonna aim to try to, you know, be on the leaderboards. You wanna, you know, try to be next to Elol right here at the top with 15 quadrillion honey. You wanna be, you know, like near him. You wanna thrive. You wanna, you know, make it to the top after you've finished. And this we're talking about like Ona and his updating. Like, it'll take a while, but he will update the game. He legit updated not too long ago with, you know, so he does events. They're fun. He also, I think 2 years ago, he made the 35 bee area, and people, you know, wanted to get the Winnie Bee. And also says what other simulators should do. Usually, like, a simulator that I think was like booming in 2018, 2017, around there, that I actually played a lot, called Ninja Legends. You definitely know what this is. It was like on the popular page. It was like top. It was top of it, the simulators, along with Bee Swarm. And after a bit, like after, you know, a couple of months, it started dying, you know. And it was too late when the developer actually made an update. It was too late, and it ended up having nothing towards it. But soon, actually, I think it was 2020 or 2021, Beast Swarm Simulator, not that, but Ninja Legends 2 was made to try to bring the game back. I think it was popular for a bit, Ninja Legends 2, but it died out because he just like added a quest system and stuff like that. It was kind of the same thing, just jumping to islands. But for the Beast Swarm, instead of just like jumping to islands, you actually have to start getting a bunch more bees to get, like, you know, to get to the other area. You just don't have to, you know, jump to different islands, which gets repetitive for a lot of simulators. And in a lot of simulators, you just keep on clicking. You just always click no matter what. And same thing over. But for the Bee Swarm, it's way different. You have quests to complete. You want to, you know, complete all of this. You can get honey to buy this. You don't have to earn it from killing mobs. The mobs are also something that is like in no other simulator. I've seen no other simulator on Roblox, on the platform, in my years of playing, that has like mobs that attack you and you have to defeat them. I've seen no other simulator do that, which is a really cool concept. Because not only do you have to, like, in the areas, you have to, you know, you have to make it there by getting your bees, but you also have to, you know, level up your bees, get stronger bees, so you can end up, you know, defeating the stronger mobs, like the werewolf. You know, if you just got defeating bee area, you can be like, okay, I gotta upgrade my bees, so I can, you know, defeat the werewolf. Or also in the cave, there's a secret golden egg that you might have saw, but the cave monsters, you know, they end up killing you. So you're like, okay, I gotta get better. I gotta start, you know, getting something that can make me go quick, so I can, you know, get inside, like nab the egg and like run out, you know, before they get me. and you're also you really want to play more so you can get the sprinklers, so you can get more. You can get the grandmaster badges, so you can feel more rewarded. Especially just a whole sum of this, and the other simulators don't do this. They need, if you make a simulator, I recommend you try to take some of Onit's notes, or on it, whatever you say. I call him Onit, but you should take some of his notes because he honestly is a really good developer. He's one of the best simulator makers ever. What the heck? What is this? Okay, I'll go off track. Because you really just want to get people, to like the game. You also make Robux by selling game passes like he does. He sells many game passes. And you don't want to make it the same, just like you just keep on clicking. And, you just get your auto clicker out and you just start like AFKing overnight. You want to make it fun to where you have to attack mobs, you have to, earn your way to the top, or you have to, do more to, get through the game. You have to do a lot to get through the game, It starts getting more challenging, but you can do that if you get like the small things that can help you. Same thing with like the gifted Riley Bee and the Bucklebee. Like you have to earn science from Science Fair to get to them. Same thing with also the Stick Bug, which I think makes this game really interesting because it has a lot of mechanics that normal games use, especially with the ticket shop. Pretty much everything in this game, every mechanic that you don't see in any other simulator. The hidden stuff, like little Easter eggs. It might be like a small thing, like like one ticket right there, or like a hidden pineapple, behind here. But you're like, oh, that's cool, that's pretty cool. Also like there's a bit of harder challenges. I can give you something cool, like behind here. You can go like through the maze, and then you can end up finding something. Finding something cool. You may be able to. You're like, I wonder what I'll find here, and you end up finding something cool, and you're like, oh, that's cool. Or here you find a little sunflower seed. It's just like cool little things to keep people attached because you'll be like, oh, I wonder if there's more stuff around the map. Start looking around the map and they'll have more fun. Because other than just a clicking simulator, Beast Swarm Simulator is way more than that. You have storage, every simulator has that, but you have storage, you have upgraded wands, you have like the protection part of it, the masks that give you like different boosts depending on which hive color you are. Honestly, I can go off for hours and hours and hours, just talking about how Beast Swarm Simulator has not died, because it has so much different than other simulators. Like this mechanic over here, actually, I just remember this. At night, you can step on these moons and stuff. The honeybee, the different types of quests you can take for different types of players. The certain cannons that, like the red cannon, I could walk all the way up there, which would take long, but if I discover 25 red bees, I can end up getting up here, And players will want to do so much. Like if a new player joins, they end up finding this, like, oh, 4 legendary bees to summon a Honeystorm, so they'll end up playing more to try to get that, and then when they do, they'll be like, I wonder if there's more stuff like this I can find, like basically the meteorite shower. Honestly, I could go for hours and hours, but this video has to be short. But until next time, I guess I'll see you next. Catch me outside now about that. Okay, that's cringe. Okay, wait, how do I handle this? Honeybee, yes.